ready? Yes. I would like to welcome you all here today to witness the joining together in marriage of Mark and Francesca. I am Stacey Johnston. I'm an Assistant Registrar appointed by the Registrar General for Scotland as a person authorised to solemnise civil marriages in accordance with the provisions of the Marriage Scotland Act 1977. Now, before I proceed with the civil marriage ceremony, it is necessary that you should both identify yourselves by answering the following question. Are you Mark Adrian Beale?
Yes, I am, yes.
And are you Francesca Helen Sarah Norton?
Yes.
We are gathered here in order that I may solemnise your marriage in the presence of your two witnesses and in accordance with the law of Scotland. And I can confirm that the requirements of that law preliminary to your marriage have been satisfied. Before you, Mark, and you, Francesca, are joined in marriage, it is my duty to remind you of the binding character of the vows you are about to make. Marriage, according to the law of this country, is a union of two people, voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. I now require that you make a declaration accepting each other as husband and wife. So what you're going to do, Mark, is you're just going to repeat after me.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to turn and face each other for me, holding your right hands together? And what I'll do, Francesca, if you want to balance your flowers on the anvil, because you'll need both hands in it. There we go. So Mark, just after me, okay? I, Mark Adrian Beale.
I, Mark Adrian Beale.
Solemnly and sincerely declare.
Solemnly and sincerely declare.
That I know of.
That I know of.
No legal impediment.
No legal impediment.
To my marrying Francesca Helen Sarah Norton.
To my marrying Francesca Helen Sarah Norton.
There we go. And now Francesca just after me as well. I, Francesca Helen Sarah Norton.
I, Francesca Helen Sarah Norton,
Solemnly and sincerely declare.
solemnly and sincerely declare
That I know of.
that I know of
No legal impediment.
no legal impediment
To my marrying Mark Adrian Beale.
to my marrying Mark Adrian Beale.
There we go. So you're going to exchange your vows now. Okay, so if you want to just continue facing, but hold both hands together for me. And it's the same again, Mark, just after me. Okay? I, Mark, accept you, Francesca, as my lawful wedded wife.
Can you just say that one again, sorry?
Yes. That I, Mark, accept you, Francesca,
I, Mark, accept you, Francesca,
as my lawful wedded wife.
my lawful wedded wife.
To have and to hold,
To have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
to the exclusion of all others,
to the exclusion of all others,
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
And now Francesca just after me. I, Francesca, accept you, Mark,
I, Francesca, accept you, Mark,
as my lawful wedded husband,
as my lawful wedded husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
to the exclusion of all others,
to the exclusion of all others,
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
You're now going to exchange rings, these being the traditional way of sealing the vows you have just made. So Mark, if you want to pop Francesca's ring on the third finger of her left hand for me.
I can do it.
Just a little bit hot.
Very hot.
Right. And then Francesca, if you want to pop Mark's ring on the third finger of his left hand for me.
Okay. You're even hotter.
There we go. Face each other and just continue joining hands. And what we'll do is Mo's going to read out your poem for you just now before we continue. Okay?
To love is not to possess, by James Cavan. To love is not to possess, to own or imprison, not to lose oneself in another. Love is to join and separate, to walk alone and together, to find a laughing freedom that lonely isolation does not permit. It is finally to be able to be who we really are, no longer clinging in childish dependency, nor docility, living separate lives in silence. It is to be perfectly oneself, and perfectly joined in permanent commitment to another and to one's inner self. Love only endures when it moves like waves, receding and returning gently or passionately, or moving lovingly like the tide. In the moon's own predictable harmony, because finally, despite a child's scars or an adult's deepest wounds, they are openly free to be who they really are and always secretly were, in the very core of their being, where true and lasting love can alone abide. Thank you, Mum. Thank you.
The wedding ring is an unbroken circle, symbolising unending and everlasting love. And yours today have been given as a token of the bond into which you have both now entered, and by virtue of the declaration made by you both in my presence and in the presence of your two witnesses, it is my privilege and pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, you're almost there, but there is, of course, one other thing to do. You've come to Gretna Green, as you well know, this famous, amazing old place where this was the original marriage room for 300 years. Couples would have come through that to the next year and stood over the anvil and oak and married. They would have done this in a pagan-style marriage. They would have perhaps exchanged rings or had a hand clasp. But the important thing was they were showing everyone here they loved each other and were committed. And I would like now to ring the anvil for you by tradition. So if I could take your marriage hand, please, and place it there. And if I could take your hand here, your other hand, your right hand, and just place it over there like that. Keep that thumb out of the way. And we're going to have to
Yeah, good
remove
shot.
you from your hammer. Okay? Don't run away in fright.
That's fine.
I'll tap it gently. You brought such happiness and love and a very special little pal here as well. But you brought this joy to us, and you are now part of that ongoing history. But with it, you're going to take away our love, our hopes for your future. May it be a long and wonderful one together, and you will always be welcome back in Scotland.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you are now husband and wife for sure. Would you like your little hammer back, or shall I read you?
So well behaved.
She's adorable, isn't she?
And there we go. And Francesca, same as well. So just your normal signature. You're still signing as well. Oh, sorry. No, you don't. Thread and pencil and knife.